Sketching is an important part of graphic communication because we can get our ideas across with words and sketches tend to be done fairly quickly and fairly simply. One of the easiest ways of doing it is what we call 2-point perspective, where we take 2 points on a piece of paper and we imagine them as faraway horizon points. What I tend to do is on the top quarter of the page, as far out as I can get, I'll draw 2 points. It's called vanishing point 1, vanishing point 2. If I was to draw a line here, this is known as my horizon line. I won't draw the line just now because I don't need it. We're going to start off with a simple box, and again I'll use a straight edge to help me. It's not a good idea to start right in the middle because you don't get a good perspective. To either side of the middle makes it look better. I'm going to start off with a line up below my horizon line, not too far down the page, and I'll make it roughly about 70 millimeters or so. It's got a top and a bottom. I'm then going to take light construction lines from these to the vanishing points. I don't lean too heavy just now when I do this. And I take these light lines over like that. And I get 2 walls. What I then want to do is to get 2 vertices to make it look safe, make it look like a box. An easy way to do that is to use this edge of the rule against the middle and use the outside edge of the rule there, and that gives me one side of a box in here. If I do the same on the other side, only what I'm going to do is expand it a wee bit more so it's a rectangular cuboid box, and I've got this side of the box here. I've then got 2 back corners and I need to find the 4th corner. So 1, 2, 3, I need to find the 4th corner. If you remember or imagine you're shooting an arrow to the faraway vanishing point, so there's me shooting it out there to the faraway vanishing point. I'm shooting an arrow out here to the faraway vanishing point. What I'm then going to do to make it look like a sketch is I'm going to sketch it. So by sketching it, I would normally move my paper because it makes it far easier for me. And when I move my paper, I'm literally only drawing in the same direction all the time, and that makes it look easier as I make a mess of these lines here because I'm going fairly quickly here. And I turn it and I turn it again, and by highlighting them, my construction lines on the outside tend to disappear. So what I want to do is I'll actually start to rub these off. So to rub these off, just rub away from it. Don't spend too much time doing that. We can clean it up later on. What I now want to do is I want to colour shade it, and you could use a colour pen or a regular pen. I use a scrap bit of paper and I call it a shield. It's so called because in the days when draftsmen did ink drawings, they used a shield to stop the ink going onto different parts of the page. I'm going to use some colour pencils, and I'm going to use a brown colour here. Way back in first year we talked about Sammy the Sun up in the sky, and Sammy the Sun's up down here, and when Sammy the Sun shines, the first surface he meets is the top surface. Super duper sun rays bounce round the corner to here, so that becomes the second surface, and then it takes a while to bounce over to the third surface over here, which is 3. If I was to draw a tonal scale, 1, 2, 3, where 1 would be the lightest, 3 is the darkest, and 2's in between. So that's how I'm going to do my shading. I've changed over to a colour pencil. I use my shield, and all I'm going to do, because I can't stop all the way across there, is I'll use my shield and I will stop just by the middle. So this is surface number 1, which is light, and I stop by the middle. Done. What I'll then do is I'll turn it around, and again I've got my shield on here to help me, and I'll work it back into the middle, and that way I get a perfect straight edge on both sides here. I'll turn it around and I'll do surface number 2, and surface number 2 I'm going to do vertically, exact same thing, leaning a wee bit heavier into the middle. I'm holding my shield down so that if I go over it, that's fine. I don't want to go under my shield, and I'm going just by the middle. I could ease it up a wee bit, but I won't go off the edge at the top. I'll turn it around and I'll do this edge again. So again, working away from it makes it much easier till the two meet in the middle, and you want it so that you don't really see where they join over. Perfect. Wee bit of loose edge at the bottom there. Again, I can use my shield in the opposite direction and I'll rub it off like that. I'll line in the outline again later. Third surface going along here, and again I've got a choice. I can go vertically or horizontally. I'm going to go horizontally, and again I'll use a clean part of the shield, and I'm working into the middle. Now surface number 3 is darker, so you've got a choice here. You can lean a bit heavier to begin with, or it's like putting on paint. You go over it, and when you go over it, you're making it heavier. Now depending on how good your coloured pencils are, or a regular pencil, this either becomes easy or it becomes a wee bit harder. But anyway, I'm just going over that to make it darker, and you can see it standing out from that. Again, I'm going just by the middle. Take it out, turn it around, and again I'll work backwards into the middle again. And that's more or less it. What I'll now do is I'll use the same coloured pencil and I'll go over my outline with the coloured pencil. And again, this makes, even though I did use a straight edge, it makes it look as if I've sketched the block, which is what's required for our SQA final assignment, where we have to do sketches and pictorial. So the outside has got a thick edge, and the inside is a slightly thinner edge. To make it look even better, you can put a highlight colour on it. Normally I would use white paper, but I'm using the yellow so it stands out for you, so therefore my yellow highlight wouldn't work on it. Blue highlight would probably work. Again, this is a light blue for contrast. And the highlight doesn't need to be neat, or you could use a highlight pen of some sort. This one's a wee bit difficult to use because it's so big. Oops, and I'm going very, very quickly. But your highlight on the outside doesn't need to be neat, and we normally just expand it a wee bit. To finish it off, what I could do is take this corner here up to my faraway corner, my faraway vanishing point. I'll draw a line there like that, and a line here, and it makes it look as if that's a wall, that's a floor, and this is sitting against it and up onto the corner. Now that's a very simple 2-point perspective. We're going to take it a wee bit further in that we're going to shape these blocks, we're going to put holes in them, we're going to do different things to it. But for just now, try a 2-point perspective. If you've done one, try a second one, only this time put your leading edge to the other side of the page. Okay? That's your home learning for today. Give it a go.